everybody. It's Carla from Casey Creates, and I thought it'd be fun to craft with you today. I have some boxes. They're little paper mache boxes, and I wanted to alter them. And often I use things that I got at the thrift store, and I found a notebook that had these pretty, can you see that? It has this pretty lavender cover with this really pretty floral border, and on the inside it has this really pretty lavender floral cover on the inside. So I've already pulled it apart and copied the cover and the little border on some regular copy paper, and I'm trying to decide. So I also have the graphic 45 8x8 fairy paper, so I'm trying to decide if I'm going to cover it with the fairy paper or my upcycled notebook cover or fabric. And I have this really pretty chiffon fabric that has a border on it, this one, and then I've got this pretty satin lavender fabric. So maybe we can chat and I can make some decisions here. So let me show you the main source of inspiration for altering this box. It is a pretty tag that was created for me and sent along with one of her entries from Angie Paisey. And many of you know Angie. She's such a sweet, wonderful lady, and she's such a great crafter. And I just love her. I love watching her videos. I didn't realize how many wonderful crafting demos she has on her channel. So I was searching around and watching her do some of her own altering of notebooks and things. And so anyway, this tag is just so beautiful. And when I get things from other crafters and they're like tags, I don't want to stick them in a drawer. I want to find a way to use them. And so I've had it in my head for a while now that I'm going to use this and put it in a prominent place where I can display it. So I've taken the pretty polka dot ribbon off the top, but I kept waiting and waiting, thinking I want to find an oval box. Then when I finally found the oval, I realized the only way the tag will look nice is if I take the oval clay frame off and just use that, and I don't want to disassemble it that much. So I think the box that's going to win is the book box. It's rectangle and it opens like a book, and I think it's going to fit perfectly on the lid after I upcycle it. Many of you probably already know my main medium of art is clay. I'm a clay artist, and I have been for, well, I hate to admit, 30 years now. But anyway, these frames are made from pressing air dry clay into molds, and I love watching different crafters use these, even though I haven't used them yet. I need to put that on my list as to do at some point, but for now I'm just thoroughly enjoying getting these from Angie and watching other people use them. And now I'm going to repurpose her tag and use it. And so the first thing I want to do is use this chalk paint, and I want to cover the box with chalk paint. I found this in the clearance at Michael's. Wait, no, that's the decoupage glue, but this is the Martha Stewart's chalkboard paint acrylic craft finish, and it's matte. And I'm going to cover this whole box with the craft paint. I might go ahead and cover the oval one too, and that way when I do decide what I want to use it for, it'll already be painted. But I guess this would be like putting on a primer or a gesso, which I don't own either. When I was in school, we had to have all those supplies readily available. And I do not remember gesso costing as much as it does, but gesso is no joke expensive. So I'm going to use the chalkboard paint. I actually kind of like that it's going to give me that little streaky look anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and cover this, and then when it's dry I'll come back and keep crafting with you. So I am waiting for the boxes to dry. I splattered chalkboard paint everywhere. So while I'm waiting for the chalk paint to dry, I thought I would make a little notebook to go inside the book box. And excuse me, one way I think would be nice is, I was thinking of putting a spine on it, but I don't think I can. I'm just getting into the paper journal crafting and I really love it, but I find that making the book base and the covers the hardest part. Anyway, this is the paper that was inside the journal that I'm recycling. So I just took some of the paper, since I just want to have a little notebook inside, and I trimmed it to fit a little bit of a journal. But I haven't decided exactly how I want to make the journal cover. I do think it'll be easier to just do a soft spine on it, since it's just going to be a tiny little notebook. And let's re-looking at the tag. I don't know, I really like the graphic 45 paper better. Does that go? I think they both go. Oh, you know what? I think I'll put one on the outside and one on the inside. We'll see. Anyway, the way I'm going to do this, I think, is to I don't know if I have enough to do the inside and the outside. We will see how this goes. Yeah, this is a double-sided paper, and I love all the sides of this graphic 45 fairy paper. It's just beautiful. And I'm going to stick it down with tacky glue. The paper is nice and sturdy, and I noticed that when you use tacky glue, if it's really thin paper, you can kind of see the lumps of the glue underneath. But because this is nice and sturdy and I smoothed it out a little, I think it's going to be just fine. And I might just make the soft spine with washi tape. I don't know if you saw my last video, but I did a little washi tape haul. So I grabbed some of my washis to see if maybe that'll be a nice little cover. I guess I don't mean cover, I mean like a spine. Let's see. Let's just do it like this. And hopefully that's straight enough. And I don't think I'm going to have enough without getting another page of paper. We will see. So if I were to fold it like that, that would work, wouldn't it? It would. It's just a little uneven, so I'm going to trim it. I actually got a new paper cutter, and it's still in the packaging. I think I mentioned in my last video that we're moving. Unfortunately, my husband's job's been eliminated recently, and we live in Arizona, but we only came out here for his job. We don't have any family anywhere nearby, so after family powwow, we've all decided that we want to head back east. So we're going to head back to North Carolina. And I'm so actually excited now that the decision's been made. But I'm packing, and I don't want to take out too much, but I don't want to stop crafting either. So, I know that's a little crooked, bummer. Anyway, I invested in a paper cutter and, you know, the little bone folder thing that you can crease your papers with. And anyway, they had such a good deal the day I got the washi tape that I got that too, but I've packed it already. And stay tuned, because I'm going to do a giveaway this weekend on my channel, and I'd love for you all to be able to be included. So if you're watching this, oh, look how cute. It's not bad. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to put this on autofocus. I'm sorry. I thought it was on autofocus. Sorry to make you go blurry for a second. But I think that did it. Okay. So this is the notebook, and I'm going to staple these pages together, and then I'm going to washi tape them to the spine. But I gotta put some paper on the inside. Let's see. What do I want to do on the inside? I have an idea to make this pansy note paper a little pocket on the inside. I think I'm going to do that. But before I do, let's see. I think I don't have any choice but to use, I don't have enough of this paper. So I'm going to use this for the inside cover. Yeah, that'll work fine. I'm going to glue this. So I have a brother that lives in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and my identical twin sister lives in North Carolina, where we lived for the last 10 years, minus the last, say, 2 years here. It'll be 2 years in October. And then my mom, who's wonderfully healthy, thank God, and 81, but we're starting to want her to live closer to us. So she typically comes to me or my sister for a couple of weeks, or both of us, and then she goes to my brother, and she just kind of floats around the warmer states for the winter. So I'm looking forward to doing that again. And it'll just be nice to be back where we can have holidays with family. My sister and I love to cook, and we love to have family gatherings. So we haven't been able to do that, though we've had really special friends out here that we do celebrate the holidays with. They're friends we've had since we lived in Milwaukee or Wisconsin area. And we will miss them terribly. But, you know, it's just time to get back closer to family. My children grew up with their cousins, which was so special. We were really happy they had that opportunity. And so they'll be able to see each other again on the holidays. So, anyway, I think that's going to serve as the inside of the notebook. I don't really like this white edge, and I'm probably going to put something on it. Oh, you know what? That'll be perfect. The washi tape can go there, and I'll figure out something for that side. But anyway, this notebook's going to go inside the book box, which is almost dry. But if you can see, that's going to just sit nicely right down in there. I'm not going to put it in there yet because it's still drying. And I'm going to have to go get my stapler and staple this shut, and then I'm going to decide which washi tape. Probably just this simple lavender one. It's the scratch and sniff one, which is so funny to me. And then I have these little post-it notes, but I'm going to do what people call fussy cut it, and I'm going to make this a pocket on the inside of my little notebook, just for the fun of it. So I'm gonna, let's see what could fit down in there. I don't even know, but I splattered it a little bit with chalk paint, but I don't think anybody's gonna really notice that. And I'll probably use this as my own little pocket. So let's put a little bit of glue around the edges, and then decide. Yeah, I don't think I like it like that. Let's do it like that. Even more. There we go. So there's a little pocket. I love all the clashing pattern. So I trim it there, and trim it there, and just for demo purposes, I'll show you that now that's a pocket. That's a cute little pocket. And why not? Let's just put another one on the back, since I have tons of these little post-it notes. So I'm going to fussy cut this one too. Another thing I've really missed is my sister has this awesome art room. When I go visit her, I practically live in there. Some of my pottery equipment is there. My potter's wheel is there, and she's got a kiln, and we just love, especially at Christmas time, watching Hallmark movies and crafting together. So it'll be really nice to get to do that again. And to chat, do the sister thing. So there's another little pocket. It blends in with that pattern so well you can barely see it. Let me see, can I trim that off? No, I'm going to have to do something else, but I will. I'll trim a little bit of it off. I'm sorry, I keep going out of frame because I'm not paying attention to where the camera angle is as much as I'm paying attention to this. I don't think I have to trim that. Okay, so this is the inside. Boy, that might even be pretty as the outside. You know what? I think I am going to change my mind. I'm going to make this the outside of the notebook. And I'm going to put something on this dreadful white edge. Let's see. Ah, I know. So there's this really pretty purple edge here. And I want to tell you something, that some of the crafters that I watch, I don't know if I have this finesse, but they are just so easy to watch. and they're just crafting, you know, they're not trying to do a demo or a tutorial. They're just talking and crafting, and I just am so captivated by it. And so I'm thinking, but I don't know how they're so good at crafting and holding your attention. And they're always saying things like, you can fast forward if you're bored. And I'm like, well, I get that. I think maybe you could think someone would get bored, but I don't fast forward and I don't get bored. And two of the people that are like that are Angie Paisey, the one I'm using her tag for today, and Shaz. Shaz is it Crafted Seasons, I think? Yes. And then Angie is just Angie Paisey. And they just are so pleasant to listen to and watch that I never feel the urge to fast forward. I just watch them craft, and then when they're done, they have like this really amazing card or box or notebook. Or Shaz did this incredible like mask. I don't remember, there was another one, it was kind of a steampunk theme, and she made the flowers look just like metal. I was totally mesmerized. So I'm trying to trim this, but I'm cutting the cardboard. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that covered up that stark white edge fairly well. I could probably do it down here too. Maybe I will later. And then I guess I'll go ahead and wrap it around this side. The tacky glue that I just recently bought sits upside down. Don't you think that's a great idea? They make it so it stands like that.